Hi there. So how are you all? So today we are going to talk on the topic of what is happiness. Happiness is probably the most pursued factor in life above wealth, health and good relationships. We all want to be happy above everything else, right? Who cares about money when you are not happy? Who cares about friends when you are not happy with who you are? Who cares about good health if you are lonely and depressed? Happiness is the thing that most people want, yet it is one of the most difficult aspects of life to quantify. How do we measure happiness? How do we define happiness? This is a video that explores many different phases of happiness. As you will learn, happiness doesn't have a single universal definition. Definition is unique for every single human being out there, including you. So, what is happiness? Google thinks happiness is defined as a state of being happy. Furthermore, it quickly follows with a long list of synonyms. It's like they are saying, hey, we do not exactly know how to define happiness, but here are a couple of concepts that we believe are very much similar. The list of synonyms is quite big. Joy, contentment, satisfaction, delight, enjoyment, carefreeness, cheeriness, etc. etc. I think there is a lot we can learn just from the fact that happiness has so many synonyms. Why? Because these synonyms are all specific variants of what happiness means to me. And I bet you feel the same. All these different emotions are part of what happiness truly is, and that's what makes happiness so incredibly difficult to define and measure. It's an average of all these different synonyms, and the meaning of happiness truly changes per person. Different kinds of happiness. There are different kinds of happiness, not just in the way we define happiness, also the way we experience it. As part of this video, I want to introduce concepts of short-term and long-term happiness. Short-term happiness. Short-term happiness is relatively easy to explain. It's based on small and easy to obtain, yet rather unsustainable happiness. When looking at the list of happiness synonyms, I think the following concepts are clearly centered around short-term happiness: pleasure, joy, ecstasy, cheeriness. You see, short-term happiness is based on the release of the chemical dopamine in your brain. This organic chemical is released when we are stimulated by things that please us. Some examples are sex, having a laugh with friends, finishing a race, watching a funny video online, or watching an exciting game of football. A more extreme example is drugs. These things result in short-term happiness because the dopamine is released based on a single event. When this event is over, pleasure is gone. That's why I consider this to be short-term happiness. And then there is long-term happiness. Long-term happiness is a little bit harder to explain because it revolves around other concepts of happiness. Instead of joy, pleasure and ecstasy, the concepts that make long-term happiness are contentment, satisfaction, well-being, carefreeness. I hope you can spot the difference here. Long-term happiness is created by feeling happy about your purpose in life, the success that you have had, and the satisfaction of who you are and what you have accomplished. Long-term happiness is based on the concepts that you are not created by a single event. For example, I am happy at the moment because I am grateful for the life that I have right now. This happiness is not caused by something I am doing at this very moment. No. I am happy because I work hard and I have achieved things that I am proud of. I have created a situation in which I am happy by default without having to rely on a single event. Now that you are aware of these two different kinds of happiness, I want you to picture some scenarios. Picture a life in which you spent your youth partying, doing whatever you want to do, using drugs, drinking alcohol, smoking cigarette or smoking weed, and living without planning for a good future. Sure, you feel pretty happy in doing these things, but you can probably see how this lifestyle will eventually catch up with you, right? You might have guessed it, but this scenario is focused exclusively on short-term happiness, and the simple fact is that pursuing nothing but short-term happiness does not lead to a sustainable life. Now picture the following scenario. You are in your early 20s and want to become the next Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. You have great ambitions and are incredibly disciplined and inspired to become everything that you think you can become. You spend an incredible amount of time working on your projects, and you even sacrifice just for the sake of your goals. You don't have time for sleep, social activities, or relationships. Hell, even your health starts to decline. It doesn't matter though, because you eventually want to reach your goals, and then you will be happy, right? This is another extreme example of happiness. You can probably see how this person is very likely unhappy. He is spending the best years of his life making sacrifices in the anticipation of what he eventually wants to become. For a lot of people, this sounds like a logical decision, but to me, this sounds like a huge mistake. You might feel satisfied with the progress you are making, but are you truly happy? God forbid if you happen to die tomorrow. Would you have any regrets? The thing is, these extreme examples are not something that you should want. You can only lead a truly happy life when you actively pursue both short-term and long-term happiness. It is important to find out what your perfect balance is. I'm not here to tell you that you should focus 50% of your attention on short-term happiness and the other 50% on long-term happiness. No, I'm here to tell you that you should be aware of your own happiness. Every single person on this planet has a different definition of happiness. You need to find out what happiness means to you and how you want to pursue it. They say happiness is a journey and not a destination. I think happiness can and should be both. That is, happiness must not just be a journey but should also be a destination. Your happiness equation is unique. Nobody can tell you what exactly do in order to be happy. You can pursue both short-term happiness and long-term happiness. The key is to find the perfect balance. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have an opinion to share, feel free to comment below. As always, do support our channel Leo Antony Speaks by liking and sharing our videos. If you are new in here, do click the subscribe button and also click the bell icon and select the option always so that you get notified on our updates. Have a wonderful day ahead, friends.